Me and my friend Sean Paree, who you may know from the My First Million podcast, we hosted a live workshop on delegation and hiring. It was a super insightful podcast. We discussed how we hire, how we attract talent, how we delegate, how we manage other people, and how we build businesses basically without working 80, 90 hours a week, which I think is a really underrated and critical part of all of this that we play. So if you want to learn more about what we're talking about here, you can visit supportshepard.com, which was the sponsor of this workshop. But I hope you enjoy. We're going to play it right now for you. Hiring in the United States for experience is very hard, especially early on. Somebody just commented, what if I can't afford A players? I can't afford somebody who's done it before. Hiring inexperience in the US is 60 grand a year, 50 grand a year. Hiring experience in the US, especially in ops roles, can be 150, 200, 250 a year. That delta is massive. But if you can hire teammates from all over the world, which 80% of my employees are from all over the world, the delta between experience and inexperience in Colombia, Latin America, is $1,200 for entry level and $1,800 for experienced.
Yeah,
$600 a month difference. So it's easier to hire experienced if you have a fully remote workforce. That's one way. But another thing is there's a lot of nuance to this. A lot of people are out mowing lawns, and I'm going to tell a story in a little while of how I found an A player just in plain sight in a Walmart parking lot. We don't only forget about talking about that, but there's nuance here. Not everybody needs A players. It's your job to build your business in a way that normal people can come in and they can get to work and they can add value. Okay, you're not out looking for unicorns at first. When you start hiring CEOs, managers, heads of growth, totally different ball game. But early on, at the very beginning, build a business that normal people can thrive, hire a lot of people, start to judge those people, get the people out who are not good. This is a muscle, like being able to delegate, being able to hire. You have to exercise it. You have to practice it. It doesn't come naturally. So my advice would be hire fast, fire fast, and start to build that gut feeling that you're talking about, that 5 minutes with each person where you can tell if they have it or not. And me and Sean have both done this a ton of times, and we're very good at doing that.
right.
And it just takes practice.
Yeah, I probably had 100 to 150 reps now at this point, right? And I'm a lot better at rep 100 than I was the seventh time I tried it. My error rate was a lot higher then. I'll add two other things. If you're building OpenAI, you do need, go find the smartest engineer sitting in Google and go give the guy $10 million. Most people are not building OpenAI, right? So like Nick's saying, you got to know your business. If your business is one that, like, for example, in my e-commerce business, 50% of my staff is overseas talent. They're great, but I didn't have to find the number one Facebook ads guy in the world for that business to work. It didn't require that. And there's this sexiness to, like, I'm only going to hire ninja, rock star, superstar, the next, whoever. That's not reality for most businesses. And I think you don't want to buy into that hype if that's not what's required for your business. I have generally in my business, there's a few roles which are make or break key person that's got to have, like, luxury talent. But most of the roles are not like that. And for those roles, I don't overspend on those, right? Because that's
you need a lot of B players to make a company work, period. You can't have all A players all running circles. You need some people to just sit down, shut up, and do their job. Like, that's one of the reasons why people hate corporate America, because their system is built. They don't need innovation. They need everybody to sit down, shut up, do their job. You need some of those people too. Well, I'm going to go ahead and tell my story. So
yeah,
Sean's going to talk a lot about, and we're both going to talk a lot about hiring high-level people. We're going to talk about hiring VAs, executive assistants, and we're going to talk about hiring pretty practical things. I was running a moving and storage company for 10 years. We dropped off boxes, picked up boxes in box trucks, drove around town, and stored them in a warehouse. Okay, I was hiring whoever. Basically, if you had a pulse and you could look at me and I could tell you weren't on drugs or drunk, you were hired. That's who I was trying to hire to run my moving company. Some of you are trying to run lawnmowers. You're running pet pressure washing crews. You're trying to get somebody to run the cash register at one of your businesses. I'm just constantly searching. And what you said about most people having a job, I have this theory, stole this. 10% of people are in career nirvana, meaning they have the perfect job. They already employed and they have a boss that doesn't want to let them go, and they are not up for moving jobs. Another 10% are to the very bottom of the workforce and they're actively looking, or they're unemployed. They're the ones who are going to apply to your Craigslist post, your Indeed post, your Monster ad, whatever it might be, where you're trying to get people to apply to a job. 80% are in the middle. 80%, they might want to take a new job, but they don't really have to. They got a boss that likes them. They're contributing at their business. So you're going for those people. So when I'm in town, I am hunting and I'm sitting on a rock. I'm a lion. I'm hunting for talent all the time. I was in Ithaca, New York. This is 2013 or so. I'm in a Walmart parking lot at about 8 o'clock. My wife is inside picking something up. She was my fiance at the time. And I'm sitting there on my laptop doing a little bit of work. And I see this guy run out of Walmart parking lot, run out of Walmart. He's got the vest on. He works at Walmart and he is running through the parking lot. He gets a bunch of the carts and he starts to load them up and he is like sprinting around. And I had never seen this before. Every Walmart employee I had ever seen is walking in slow motion. They know they're getting paid by the hour. They do not want to be there and they do not care. This guy was the opposite, running around. And on his way back into Walmart, he actually scoops down and picks up a plastic bag of garbage and like jams it in his back pocket. I knew in less than 5 minutes that this guy was a stud and he really cared about his job. So I get out of the car, I'm hunting, I have a business card in my back pocket, and I run up to him and I say, hey, why are you moving so fast? Like I've never seen anybody work this hard at Walmart. Like, how are things going? And he goes, well, Nick, my manager didn't show up today. The cart guy didn't show up today. And it's almost 8:15 and the varsity basketball game is going to get out right around the corner at Ithaca High School. And these people are going to come here and they're all going to shop. It always happens. And we don't have any carts up front. I got to hustle. And I'm like, wow, damn, this guy's different. What I do, I pull the card out of my back pocket, hand it to the guy and say, and I don't say, hey, do you want a job? I say, hey, do you know anybody who wants a job? We pay $18 an hour. I knew he was making $12.50. We pay $18 an hour. Have him send me an email. I want people just like you. This is a little bit about what we do, why it's exciting, and so on. 4 hours later, the guy sends me an email at midnight. We talk the next morning. He comes on and he turns into one of the best hires we ever made. He traveled to other cities, worked several seasons with us, and it was just phenomenal. Now, do that. Anywhere you go in your town, if you're running a local service business, you are literally hunting for talent. My brother runs a lawn care company in Bloomington, Indiana. He put piece of paper on the gas pump near Home Depot, the closest to Home Depot, with those little pull tabs on the bottom. It said lawn care landscaping, $18 an hour, pull one of these tabs and call me. He got 2 Hispanic workers that have been phenomenal for him from that one job post on a gas pump. So don't forget to do the things that don't scale. Sean and I are going to talk about a lot of other things, a lot of ways to grow, a lot of ways to recruit people. Don't forget to do the stuff that doesn't scale.
Big news, guys. I created a free PDF that details my method on how I analyze a self-storage facility and figure out what it's worth. Give me a pen, the back of a napkin, and a couple metrics, and I can figure out about what the property is going to be worth to me. If you want to download this PDF, click in the show notes, the first link, and you can give me your email address and you get a email right away with a 4-page PDF that outlines exactly how I think about underwriting or giving my initial analysis on a self-storage facility. Again, click the link in the show notes and you're going to get that document for free.
This episode of Sweaty Startup is brought to you by SupportShepard.com. SHEPHERD. They are a full-service headhunting agency in the Philippines to help you find talent for your service business at 20% of the cost of U.S. equivalents. I've hired 8 employees through Support Shepard. I cannot speak highly enough about how it is revolutionizing my business. This company finds you candidates. They background check them. They do personality tests. They make sure they're a good fit based on your job description. They set up the interviews, and they even help you with the employment contract when you're ready to make the hire. I cannot recommend them enough. Check out SupportShepard.com to learn more.